Triple Shot Mindset. So my ma's watching the show a lot more than she used to.
Hey,
Ma.
How you doing, Ma?
That's good, Ma.
Hi, Mom.
Mommy.
But the question is, will she watch the full-length episodes, or will she continue to just watch the shorts that we post?
Shorts are easier.
Shorts are easier.
Yeah. A little bit of nuggets. A whole lot of sauce.
Especially from you.
Yeah.
You're real saucy.
Not today, but
Why not today?
I don't know, because you are sitting in the
Leadership
director's
chair. Where you sat in this very place and told us that you were the most objective person in this universe.
I didn't say universe. I said this world.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You're open to there being more objective beings in the universe.
I'm sure there's one in every planet.
Great.
All right.
So I'm going to kick us off today.
Please.
Kick away.
I can't reach.
Well, you can if you want to.
Have you ever been stuck in a rut?
Absolutely. Every freaking year.
Every year, okay.
Every
Not every
year.
day. I
No,
felt like you
not
were going to
every
go
day.
there, but just every year.
Every now and then.
Okay. What does it feel like? Don't go for don't spoil it yet. Just tell me your personal experience being stuck in a rut.
I feel like the brakes have been put on and I have to find a way out.
It's stressful.
I wouldn't say if it's stressful. It's just demoralizing a little bit.
Ooh. And that doesn't stress you out at all, to be demoralized.
I think because I know that everyone has a purpose and we just have to find it, it doesn't stress me out too much. I just have to, I'm impatient, so I have to find a way to get back on track.
Wait, you're impatient?
A little bit.
I can relate. I'm not the most patient person either.
Me either.
What's it like being stuck in a rut for you, Kevin?
As my wise brother put it, it's like the brakes have been pressed. I feel like there's no motivation. It's hard to get past your barriers. Mental, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens seasonally for me every 3 months.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
on average.
once a year for R.U.D.D, every 3 months.
Yeah, or so.
I'll go ahead and take at some time at every day.
Really?
I get into a rut at some point in every day. And most recently, I've noticed it in the shift from day to night. The hours between like 7 and 8 o'clock
In the morning?
a.m. I'll start to get very like, what do I do now? It's like I don't know how to shift gears from doing all day to kind of taking a chill pill in the evening. I'm still either revved up or just like not in the same, I'm not in a rhythm. That's my daily rut right now.
Now, is it personal? Is it career? What is it?
I don't even know. It comes and goes. It's there for like 30 minutes. And then usually I'm like, wait a second, this is just time to switch gears. And then bloop, I'm out of it again. And I'm content with whatever I'm doing.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Right.
So that's what it is to be stuck in a rut. And for our viewers, you can admit it to us. So you can tell us that you get stuck in ruts too. But we have prepared something for you to help you get out of the rut, to identify when you're in it, and then to get out of it. And we call it the RUDD rule.
R-U-D-D.
Yeah, not rut. RUDD.
Run.
Like Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
How's Paul doing anyway?
He's well. He's releasing a new movie, Unicorn something or other.
Oh, he says hi, by the way.
Oh, tell him hi.
Yeah,
yeah.
PD we call him. PR.
Death of a Unicorn. Yeah, it's coming out this month, I think.
Yeah, good.
He was also in This Is 40.
Yes.
Ant-Man. Oh, yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Anchorman.
40-year-old virgin.
40-year-old virgin. Yeah, we love Paul
That
Rudd.
was a great act.
Paulie.
So Paul helped us invent this rule, although he didn't create it. We did, but he inspired it. So the RUDD rule, it's actually an acronym, R-U-D-D. And when you're feeling 3 of these 4 things, you know you're in a rut. And then you can get out of it. So the first thing that you feel when you're in a rut sometimes is rushed. It's R of the RUDD rule. And it means that you feel compelled into action. You have to do something. This is how you know you're living under someone else's purpose and not your own. Because when you want to be doing something, you don't feel rushed. You feel grounded in the process. When you're feeling rushed, you know it's the force of somebody else, not of Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, perfect.
Of someone or something else on you.
Yeah. Because we thought it was the Skywalker.
I thought you
guy.
would think it was the Skywalker effect.
Yeah, but it's not.
That's another rule for another time.
Yeah.
No, this is the RUDD'd rule. Then there's you.
You.
Me? Or
No. Just you.
Both
You.
of you. No, you the letter. And it's uncertainty. Another thing you might be feeling when you're in a rut is uncertain. You don't know where you're going or why you're going there or how you're going to get there or what you're even doing or if your life even matters. It can get very existential crisis-y. Like I said, I experience this every day between the hours of 7 and 8 p.m.
I like the big words you use.
Which one? Existentially.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get very existential.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
A rut, especially in these uncertain times, because we are living in uncertain times. aren't we?
Everyone says that, but there's no uncertain times. Every time is uncertain.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. But go ahead.
But I
So-
think sometimes it feels more uncertain than other times
But why would it?
because we're not children anymore.
Oh, as adults,
Yes,
there's uncertainty.
I think that's what it is. It's the age where we are, but I think people try to make it seem like, no, the 50s and the 60s were certain times and these are uncertain times. No, they weren't. You just weren't an adult in the 50s or the 60s.
I think everything in the rear view mirror is,
Certain.
uncertainty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn. You're absolutely right. So uncertainty and rushed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the R and U of the RUDD'd rule. If you're starting to feel uncertain or you're starting to feel rushed, these are good signs that you're in a rut or you're living under somebody else's purpose. What else is there?
I would say there's derailment. Derailment. Feeling derailed. Feeling off purpose. And the longer you go on that derailed trajectory, the further you're going to be from your purpose. So we have to understand that if I'm doing something day in and day out, or in a relationship or whatever, and it doesn't seem like I'm on the right track and I've been derailed, I have to have the power and the awareness to look at myself and see where this is going and if it's on purpose for my betterment or if it's not.
Yeah.
So derailment would be my biggest signal that I'm in a rut.
Derailment.
Derailment.
That's good.
It's another big word.
Yeah.
There was a movie called Derailed. Did you see that?
No.
It was one of those wonderful, weird movies that no one has seen. But there was Jennifer Aniston in it. And she was on a train going somewhere. And an event happened on the train that derailed everyone's life. And every time I say that word derailment,
You think of that movie.
yeah, I think of that movie, but how big of an impact a tiny little change can have in the overall outcome of your life. Yeah, so derailment. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well said.
So we got rushed, we got uncertain, we got derailed. If you're feeling rushed, uncertain, or derailed, or if you're feeling all three, you might be living someone else's purpose.
Is that Paul's last name still or
No,
not?
we
Or are
got
missing
one more
something?
D. Can you bring us home with
You
that?
got a big D,
Absolutely.
That
right?
big D?
Big D, yeah. Well, speaking of big D, deflated.
Yeah, deflated.
Wow. It's an oxymoron almost.
Yeah. You don't want that.
No, you don't want to be deflated if you're big D.
No.
Right.
But yeah, I feel deflated sometimes, seasonally, like I mentioned.
Once every 3 months.
Yeah, I feel everything I'm doing is not really doing it for me anymore. I need motivation, and I find it within. I typically go in front of the mirror and do my little nasty talk with myself.
No, it's not what you guys think.
No, it's not. It's telling myself I'm better than this. I should look at look at things in a different perspective, basically. So after my harsh talk with myself in front of the mirror and making myself feel ashamed of, being stuck in a rut, I typically go outside on a walk. I take a break from it all. And when I look at nicer houses, things that I want to achieve, but I haven't, it gives me a sense of purpose and motivation to go back and reset.
But you got to understand that the rut will come back if you do things out of desperation versus inspiration. Because if you do those things out of inspiration because now you feel on purpose, then you'll come out of that rut faster. But if you do things because you don't want to sink lower out of desperation, then it'll be a temporary high, and then you're going to go back down.
So
again.
that's the third D. We never talked about desperation.
RUDD'd.
Yeah, if you want to get crazy.
Triple D.
Yeah.
Triple D.
Triple D.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to avoid. I'd say that's a pit stop on the way.
Yeah.
So let's check it out. We've got a person, they're sitting at home or at work or in the car on their commute or in the park, wherever they find themselves. And
A backseat of a car.
backseat of a car.
Train.
Train, plane, automobile. We don't know. And they say to themselves, I think I might be in a rut, which we've defined as you're not living your purpose. You're living someone else's probably. Even if it's not a specific person, it's society at large, whatever. You're doing what it takes to survive. You're going to be feeling 3 or more of these things. Rushed, uncertain, derailed, and deflated. And if you've got all 4, you're in serious need of a trajectory
Change.
Shift. The fifth D, no, I'm sorry, the third D, the 5th letter is desperation.
Yeah.
Don't do anything out of desperation. I think everyone here in this room has done something out of desperation at one time or another.
Sometimes you have to. That's the only rope you have sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that is your final Hail Mary. Like I'm just going to quit the job or change the career or divorce the spouse or move the country or...
Yeah, sometimes we need
Something.
that. Sometimes we need a huge crack in our, everyday.
Yeah.
But if it's out of inspiration again, if it's out of inspiration, then you have the force to carry you through that and see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But I think desperation, you keep on going different directions, trying to patch things up. And ultimately, you're going to have to go back and rewire yourself because the only change that happens is out of inspiration. That's going to be lasting. So when I say I only have it once a year, I kind of mean like I try not to get into a rut. If I see I'm approaching it, if I see I'm beginning to have certain feelings, I have to quickly look at myself, see what is it am I doing that's pushing me into that direction. And if something's not aligned with my purpose and I'm just doing it just to fill a gap or fill a paycheck or fill a lonely night, then I see that ahead of myself and I pull myself back. But a lot of people, they get engaged into these relationships or weird things that they start doing. Obviously, they quit a job, they do this and that. But sit down with yourself. I don't think many people can do that nowadays. Sit down with yourself without your phone, without your friends' influence, without societal norms, thinking about, I have to do this, I have to do that. And think of what would make you happy, what's on purpose with you. And once you know what's on purpose with you, then every step you take, the universe will actually push you towards that outcome.
Yeah, I love that.
Of course you should.
I do. I live by it every day between the hours of 7 and 8 p.m.
Well, between 8 and then 7 again.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
The rest
23
of the time.
hours,
The remaining. So I've concocted in my brain that we are going to do antidotes.
Sure.
You just described the antidote to desperation. You said it was inspiration.
It has to be inspiration.
And I conk, which is short for concur, in case anyone was wondering.
Right.
But now let's go down the list. When you realize you're rushed, you're in a rut, you go to the RUDD rule.
Yeah.
You've identified your 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4 of the issues, or maybe 2. Let's just say if you even notice one coming up a lot, is it fair to say the sooner you course correct, the less likely you're going to hit that desperation stage?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're rushed. I think the antidote to finding that you're rushed is to get grounded. Deep breaths in. Long sighs out. Like that. Then taking stock of where you are. A little meditation practice. All of the usual grounding practices. Sometimes that can be eating a meal, drinking water. That can be resting. That can be talking to a friend. It's just moving slow. Touching the earth. On the internet now, I don't know if you guys have seen in the comments, they say, go touch grass. Have you seen that?
No.
I've seen it.
Okay. Like someone gets weird in the comments and some rando will show up and be like, you just need to go touch grass. It's like an insult
yourself.
now. Yeah, ground yourself. But it started out as like a get back to reality.
Yeah.
That's what I think the antidote to the rushing is. Should we go in order? Does anyone feel inspired?
Whatever you like. Whatever you like.
You. Uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
When you're feeling uncertain, you can't really create certainty. And I think it's a myth to say that you can. Technically, in my opinion, and I'll own that it's my subjective opinion, you can try to create the facade of certainty in your life, and then a bus can hit you as you cross the street. Like, there's a level of cosmic uncertainty that will always be there. Accidents, surprises, unplanned events. Boom. So I don't think creating certainty is the answer to uncertainty. I think making a decision that aligns with you and then being consistent within that is the better alternative. You're not going to develop certainty out of making that decision, but at least you're going to create a rhythm and a routine that you can revisit and reanalyze in the coming days and weeks and say, okay, actually I committed to that decision. I stayed with it for 2 weeks. Didn't work for me. Didn't create the result I wanted. So now I can pivot. Now I can have the conversation, revisit the job, whatever it is I have to do, change the exercise routine, change the diet. But it's small time commitments that can not create certainty, but instead create alignment so that you can continue evaluating what feels right and what feels centered for you.
Even if you don't have certainty about certain things, right? You can have a list of things that you're certain of that you don't want. And so, for example, you don't want a 9-to-5 job. You don't want to live alone. You don't want a woman who will nag you. You don't want certain things. So even though you may be uncertain, you can be certain about the ones that you don't want. And then that will kind of weed out everything else that comes to you that you may try to figure out if this is for me or not.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I think for me, when I was dating, still in a way I'm dating myself.
Ooh, hot.
I have to have a list of non-negotiables. And that list of non-negotiables carries a lot of weight for me, because if I go against it, I feel like I've done myself a disfavor. And I have enough awareness and, I guess, bravery to look at that list and say, did I veer off this list? Because every time I go with that list of what I don't want, it brings more uncertainty for me. So even if you may not know what is aligned with you at this point, make a list of what is not aligned with you.
Yes, that is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And so is control. Uncertainty comes when you don't have control over something, but you have control over your daily routine. So like you said, I'm going to do this, this, and this, make some goals. You have control over it.
Yep.
So at least it's not that horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Control what you can control, right? That's the Stoic principle. And if you find yourself in some crazy scenario where you have zip control, no money, no roof over your head, you still have control over your mindset, over your attitude, over the way you talk to yourself, what you'll allow to stick on you. So those are our tips for uncertainty. Now moving into derailment.
Derailment. I think we've beaten that horse to death, but...
What's the antidote in a word?
Course correct.
Okay.
You have to course correct. You have to see ahead of where that derailment is taking you.
And how do you get to the course correct? You said it to me earlier.
Well, then,
I just remember the word.
Course correct. Course correct. You get course
Shorter
correct.
even than that, you said recenter.
Recenter.
In order to know how to
Yeah.
course correct.
Yeah.
That's what you told me.
I think you have to have so much awareness about your decisions and where that uncertainty is taking you, how it's derailing your life. And you have to be able to see what these things are going to pan out. 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, your desperate attempt to recenter, those are going to make you more derailed. So that's why I said we have to find inspiration in order to recenter.
Yeah.
Because we have to see, if I'm making these bad decisions leading me to this outcome, what should I do today to course correct and recenter to where I want to be?
Yeah. And that might involve taking some actions, right? Even small
100%,
ones,
100%.
tiny ones.
100%. And the more you say no to the crap that's not for you, you open the door for things that are. So if you say no to a career or a bunch of weirdo women on Hinge or Bumble that you don't want, that clears up room energetically for things that are for you.
Yeah.
And therefore it helps you go back to center again.
Yeah. So if you're not in that state where it's all about taking action, sometimes life has put you in a more passive state. So in that case, it's probably about what you need to say no to.
Yeah. It's like jumping in quicksand. And a lot of people have a tendency to just, weld or whatever.
Yeah.
Flail, yeah. And I think that's something like when you're desperate to quickly find purpose, you may do the wrong thing and sink even more.
Yeah.
So let's stay calm. Let's take a look at what I've done today, yesterday, the last week. Why am I in the rut? Why this derailment's happening? What am I doing to derail even more? And what can I do to bring myself back? And once you do, not out of panic, not out of I need to put the brakes on right now, just see how it's going to play itself out.
Yeah.
And then take steps slowly and methodically to bring yourself back to normal. Otherwise, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to go, if you're derailing left, you're going to derail right.
Yeah. And you'll just keep pendulum
you
swinging.
Overcorrect. And
I have a question now about those who deal with avoidance. Not avoidance out there, avoidance within themselves. Because some people are stuck in saying no to everything. No to this person, no to that opportunity, no to change. So when they're feeling derailed, but they keep saying no, that's a very real phenomenon. What's the advice to them?
Well, you either change based on your wants and needs and decisions, or you wait for the universe to change it for you. So you don't have to say no to things. If you think something's good for you, it's going to hurt to change. I mean, a lot of people that I know, they would love to sit in the festering pool of comfort than to change. So saying no to new opportunities and new growth things, and say goodbye to old people and old relationships and old jobs or whatever that were comfortable, that's the biggest thing you can do to yourself to change, because you're going to have to change anyway.
Yeah.
The world's changing every moment.
Yeah.
People are dying, people are going broke, people are becoming rich.
And being born.
And all those things. So you have to move with the times, otherwise you're going to just die. So come from a place of inspiration, definitely, and seek growth. I mean, I seek pain sometimes, not in a sadistic way, but I seek pain because I know on the other side is growth. And I have to put myself through that. I don't want to numb myself with fake friends or alcohol or video games. I put myself through that pain because I know at the end there's going to be a rainbow.
Yeah. I might cry.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, the women on Hinge, if you're off of Hinge, are you
Unhinged?
unhinged?
I knew it. Yeah. Yeah.
Unhinged.
You are. So, Kevin, take us home with that big final D.
Big D, bro. Big D. Deflated.
Take us home with that final big D.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do accept that compliment.
Yeah.
Drink on the big D.
Happy to help. Bring it on.
Thank you.
We're eager for it.
No, I agree with what this young man is saying all the time. My inflation, inflation.
Yes, your antidote.
Antidote is to inflate.
Yeah.
See, we always find the opposite word.
Yes.
Deflate, inflate. Like a tire.
Just like that.
Yeah. No, I inflate myself with motivation. Motivation.
That's right.
I was telling you in the other room earlier that typically work deflates me, dealing with clients and getting some negative feedback. So I have that, like I told you, have a chat with myself. It's not out of desperation. It's out of, okay, I need to shift quickly into a different mindset. So I talk to myself. I tell myself, hey, I'm beautiful. I'm handsome.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm talented.
Yes.
I'm kind. All those good things.
Yeah.
And then I throw a couple of nasty words in there too, just to spice it up.
Yeah, a few zingers.
Like, you friggin' handsome mother. And then I actually sometimes I go and hug my computer.
Yeah.
Not in a weird, sadistic way, but
No,
in
a weird way, not
in a weird
sadistic
way.
at all.
And the purpose of that is to say, you know what? Thank you. Gratitude.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. This is my tool.
Yeah.
I need to rise again.
Yep.
And thank you, little computer. I'll be back after I take my walk. I fill myself with all this motivation and come back stronger, better, inflated,
Yeah.
and I get done.
Maybe you should, instead of hugging your computer, maybe you should know that inspiration is coming from the universe. So thank the source.
I do.
And that's just your canvas, bro.
Hey,
That's
thank
not
you.
your source of inspiration. It's up there.
God, my eyes rolled back so much. I got a
Yeah,
headache.
you saw your brain.
What I said was gratitude. I'm
This
grateful.
is coming from a guy who went to marry the city of Irvine.
Is there anything wrong with that? That seems like a beautiful.
I would have been the richest son of a bitch in this room by now.
Yeah, you would have.
That's going to be a TLC kind of a reality show.
Yeah. My Strange Addiction.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy who made love to a Volkswagen Beetle?
I'm proud to say that I did.
Okay.
You did?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
I've been through the archives of
Where have I
the
been?
My Strange Addiction.
Yeah, no,
World.
it's
It's worth a watch. I'll
yeah,
tell you like
for sure,
offline.
for sure.
I tried to expose myself to teachings
I wasn't sure. What
of
Expose
philosophers, of authors, of speakers.
For a second, you're exposing yourself to teachers.
yeah, that's,
No,
Teachings.
teachings.
yeah.
Okay.
Teachings, philosophers. Instead of watching mind-numbing TV.
Which I don't. Which
Seriously,
I don't.
that if you're in a rut, the worst thing you can do
is feed the rut.
is feed the rut.
Yes. Oh my
Because
God,
if you sit
yes.
down and you watch the Real Housewives of Orange County, for example, to get out of it, you're going to go deeper in it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I myself am not a big reality TV show person or even a TV or movie person. Usually
No
someone
shit.
else has to get me into it. My brother, my
You know
mother.
every name of
Come
every
on.
actor in every movie there
My
was.
brother works in Hollywood. My father
For that.
is a dilettante. He loves the films, but it's by exposure.
Sure.
I don't seek it out. I promise. I've been seeking out more than lately. This week, I watched half an hour of a movie that I like over like 3 days. But I don't like come home from work, plop down on the couch and turn on the TV. I know a lot of people who have comfort shows. They have a comfort movie, and it's literally that. Like either while they're working, they'll have the TV on with movies in the background, or when they're done with work, they turn the TV on and have their dinner in front of it. My father, culturally, I guess this was a big thing when he was growing up, the TV was always on 24/7. So my dad has the TV on while he makes breakfast, while he eats dinner, like just casually while he gets ready for the day. The TV is on, or it's music. He's big into classical music, as you know. So all of that TV exposure you're saying is going to put you further into a rut. I'm wondering, is it because of the content specifically?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I for example, I watch Shark Tank,
Okay.
and that helps me get motivated.
Okay.
So there are some shows that are obviously good, and you
It's gotta
find
be like-
motivation.
So it's got to be good for the individual.
Yeah.
Okay. So it has to make you inspired, like you said. not comforted into like a cocoon of, oh, if I just stay here and numb out, I don't have to do anything.
I think
I'm
that's
safe.
what helped me get through the divorce. Sitting by myself and not having TV, not watching Laker games or reality shows, because to me that was going to just prolong the hurt and the rut that came with being dumped after all these years. But anyway, nor here nor there.
Everywhere.
For you to come out of that, for me to come out of a divorce,
Yes.
much better, not sinking, not swimming, but soaring. I think not watching TV was one of the best things I had to do for myself, because that pushes you to start thinking, to thinking about your life. Where is it going? How do I want to get there? What tools can I use to better myself? And if you're constantly being numbed and looking at a TV, or even if it's in the background, I think it just, the frequency of that.
Yeah. It like stabilizes too much, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like every situation is different.
Yeah.
Like personal issues, obviously you want to sit with your thoughts. But like work, maybe you're an entrepreneur and that kind of stuff. Shark Tank, for example, gives you the motivation and inspiration to get back at it.
Yeah.
So I think every situation is different. So we can't say TV is all bad.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not that TV is all bad. It's because I'm thinking of, like I said, I may not watch TV. I was quick to throw people under the bus who did, though. I'll work on that later with
Mary Jane.
my therapist on ChatGPT.
Mary Jane, yeah.
But I have other things, that I do that are numbing. So like you said, Kevin, it's not that it's TV that's good or bad. It's what habits do you turn to solidify your cocoon and stay in a rut instead of get out of the rut. It could be anything. And I even know people, and I don't, again, want to call out any names, but I know folk who use entertainment that they'll try to convince me it's productive. They'll be like, oh, well, it's a psychic's take on what's really going on behind the scenes in this world. And they'll listen to hours of it and get themselves worked up, but it's not inspiring them. It's actually deflating them. It's not doing anything for their growth and expansion, but they've convinced themselves that it's not numbing. They're like, no, because it's not TV, because it's not standard entertainment that everybody else watches, I'm so different, I'm so special. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But we got to be wary of that. Like, no, it's still your personal poison that you've chosen to stagnate with. You like that?
I like that.
Personal
That
poison.
should be an Instagram short.
I'll tell the editor.
Okay, good.
So cherry on top it. Whoever feels moved.
Kevin, do you feel moved?
You look moved.
That was movement.
He needs a bowel movement. That's what he needs.
That was movement. No, I mean, my whole take is nothing's permanent, right? Rut is not permanent. When you recognize a problem, you find a way to fix it. And to me, in my rutty moments of typically work, I just find taking a break from it all and finding motivation is probably the most important thing.
Yeah. I would have to agree with him.
Absolutely.
Even though I'm the most objective person in the world. But I also think we have to be able to look at ourselves
In the mirror.
And be able to lift ourselves to that 30,000 foot level and look at our trajectory and see if it's going somewhere good or somewhere bad. Somewhere that we're forced to go or somewhere that we want to go. Because I think I want to force myself to go where I want to go versus where life forces me to, because that's going to be more on purpose and I'm going to be happier. So I have to have a lot of self-awareness and see what those little signs of derailment are.
Yeah.
And recenter out of inspiration.
Beautiful. Going back, when you said cherry on top, I would have wanted to say nuts on top.
I don't like nuts.
To go along with the theme of what we're talking about.
Yeah, big D, inflation.
Right, deflation.
I'm with you.
How about you, Amanda?
For me, I've perfected the 30,000 foot view. I get lost in the sauce to the point that I don't even realize I'm in a rut. I just think everything's going wrong. So for me to slow down and just build awareness with the RUDD rule and say, no, hey, girly girl, you seem a little rushed. You seem a little uncertain. You seem a little deflated. You seem a little derailed. Maybe it's time to reassess. As soon as I realize that it's just a temporary thing, I relax. And I go, oh my God, kind of like Kevin says, it's not that serious. Kind of like you said, like bigger picture. But sometimes it's hard for me even to have the awareness of what's happening. I just slip into a funk.
Yeah.
So as if I can catch myself going to the funk can be short, 5 to 10 minutes. That's what I'm on to now.
Well, on the climb up of this,
Like going up.
Climbing that mountain. Every once in a while, there's going to be like an area that you rest and then go up again.
Yeah.
And then rest and go up again. But the problem is for people to stay in those rest spots.
Yep.
And say, well, I can't go up, I can't go down, I'm stuck here. Just look up and start walking up anytime you want to. It's a choice to come out of a rut. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
And if you think it's going to get better by itself, it won't. Make the choice to get up your ass and start walking up again.